Delta Heavy is a stamp of approval in terms of musical, quality and identity and lifestyle.
You're going to take a tour of my bus right now. Just follow me along. I'll show you where we live, sleep, and breathe while we're bringing you the tour of 34 days over the next 2 months. You always put your head to the back, feet to the front. Hopefully electronic guys will figure out, for the married guys on the tour, you don't know about the back lounge.
The Delta Heavy tour has reached about 85,000 people.
I've always been fascinated by the electronic music world, that they've never been able to figure out how to tour.
Delta Heavy is sort of peak heavy within a set. So if you're there for 4 hours, you might have sort of these Delta Heavy moments within the night, and it's also Delta's a brainwave.
Touring is about a sense of humor, and that's how I've done it for 20 years. So they just need to continue to have a sense of humor every day, because it's not going to be perfect. Their lives are not going to be perfect. Their show's going to be perfect. That's the difference. Whether you're Bono or the Rolling Stones, you give up a little personal sacrifice so your audience sees a perfect show every day.
I think the golden rule is don't shit on the bus.
On sweet spot.
Matt Malice, tour manager.
AJ Seaback, lasers.
Pat Tetrick, audio and backline.
Matt Cloutier, audio technician.
Brent Spears, set designer.
Brett Gross, lighting. Hobie Dacus, audio.
Kenny Leith, stage manager.
Matt Crossman, lighting.
Steve Gordon, video.
Michael David, LD.
Johnny Chicam, VJ.
Paul Elliott, bus driver.
Al Kerstetter, truck driver.
Tim Skinner, road manager.
Jimmy Van Am.
John Digweed.
And I'm Sasha. Just got off a 9-hour flight from London, arriving in Miami for our first gig on this mammoth tour that we've taken on.
These boys, in the next 6 weeks, I don't think they've got a clue what they're letting themselves in for. And by the end of it, I'm not even sure I'll recognise them.
Well, building. Pretty large. That's fucking wicked.
Yeah, right?
Come on.
Yes, no?
Hang on, let's ask the security guard up here.
Who are you looking for?
We've got an event on tomorrow night. They're setting up the sound.
In here in the arena?
Yeah, in the arena.
It's got one of those clip-on ponytails, man. This arena is pretty amazing. I've done some big shows, but...
This is the arena, isn't it?
Oh, we're at the wrong building.
Triple A. You got the Miami Arena over there. It might be
Ages.
Come out. Come out. Where's the Miami Arena?
See that round building over there?
building over there?
Yeah.
That's where you're going.
Which
Okay.
one? Good start. Idiots.
Look at it. It's amazing.
We're now running a 24-hour phone service. The bets are on already. When's the call gonna come? We want separate buses.
So that was the arena we thought we were playing in, which looked a bit big and scary. But this is the one we're playing in, which still looks fairly big. Anton Deck, watch out.
We're playing here tomorrow night.
What's your name?
Sasha John Digweed.
I am Mr. Sasha Digweed at the North Lobby, and also a gentleman with the camera.
Did she say Sasha and Pigwig?
Yeah, they've been in here since 7 o'clock this morning, so we're going to see how far they've got. But just spoke to Jimmy, he said the sound's amazing, so this is our first view of what we can expect tomorrow night.
What do you think of the junkyard, Jim?
Looks fucking amazing, man.
Dude, it's going to be fucking cool.
Do you guys want this flat, or do you know it rotates up and down? That was the only big question. Jimmy thought it was okay up. We didn't unlock it, but it can.
Can drop down a little.
It goes on the hinges and stuff.
I like it at the angle.
Steve, he likes it at the angle.
So it's just a constant feed.
Yeah.
So you can't send an effect just of one deck
Well, I
at a
keep
time.
asking him about that, but no.
No. Move that. Shift that around.
Did you ask for the red and jelly beans and all that stuff yet?
Only blue M&Ms. It's kind of weird seeing it with all the lights on and stuff. But I'm sure once it's blacked out and we've got our visuals going, it's going to be quite impressive when you walk into this for the first time. I'm a little nervous about it, but I think, whenever John and I play together, always some magic happens, so I think it'll be cool.
Sasha will survive, and John, I don't know.
Let's go.
Unbelievable.
The Delta Heavy Tour is a huge leap forward to, take electronic music in America to a different level.
It's 1:15, Sasha's not here. Hopefully he's going to make a sort of appearance later on. So we'll see how he gets on. He's probably saving himself for tomorrow night, which is really important. I saw the opportunity, this place coming along, and just really wanted to get involved. We found it was coming up for sale. I offered to put a little bit of money in, and it's just good to have this kind of a bit of involvement side of DJing and playing music. So I'm going to go and hang out and get drunk when I come over to America. Hi guys, welcome to my hotel room. It's Mandarin Oriental, downtown Miami. As you can see, set up, decks ready to go. G4 laptop for getting all my emails from back home, and a healthy supply of Barocca.
Doesn't really feel like Miami here actually. Like normally, you get to Miami and stay on South Beach, and there's such a vibe down there. We kind of decided to stay out of trouble this year.
Thought Sasha might come down last night to check out the bar and everything, but he's been getting his stuff ready for tonight, so it's kind of quite a good thing, let him pace himself a little bit. Sometimes when he goes out the night before, he can tend to go missing for a few days.
I found some amazing music today. Loads of stuff I've had cut onto acetate. All these ones in the blue covers on my acetates. I must have spent about $3,000 on acetates in preparation for this tour.
It's 2 months that we're away for, so when you kind of take that into account, it's like, wow, this is such a long time to be away, but the amount of gigs we got and press and everything else set up within the next 8 weeks, I think it's going to fly by.
This is the console we're actually going to be using on the tour. I needed some decks to go through my music, and the next minute they turned up with this thing. I thought they were going to bring me one record deck and a little speaker, and they bought me the whole setup, so it's quite impressive to look at, I guess. I haven't DJed for so long, it is going to be like throwing myself back in the deep end again. I mean, we've got a webcast tonight on AOL, 4 hours. We're going out live on Radio 1, so it's quite a high pressure gig, really. But I'm not really shitting it yet. I'll wait till about 5 minutes before I go on.
I just met Sasha. He seems to be a very congenial guy, very nice. He already thanked us for putting in a lot of time and effort. Usually at the end of the tour, you get all the kudos and stuff, but he's already started. Seems like a very nice guy. I haven't met John yet, so who knows?
I haven't met anybody yet, really.
I'm tour manager for the artist for the next 2 months on the Delta Heavy Tour. And as far as my roles go, I'm learning them as we go.
At the end of a night, we'll load out. The loadout will take anywhere between 2 to 4 hours. And we have to go to the next gig because we have to load that in. And it could take anywhere between 5 and 8 hours to load the next one in.
In and out. That's basically what we're looking for, is just to get in and out. And so we may have to do a little pushing.
I've got 3 friends in right now, so I'll have to get passes for you.
Well, they don't like each other now. Yeah, Sasha and John are like, it's this rivalry there. There's all sorts of skeletons in the closet. I'll guarantee, I'll say this now, and I'm not just doing it for sales of this video, those two will hate each other. The tour will be a shambles by the end of it.
Everybody needs some love.
One of the things that I found most interesting is the fact that Sasha and Digweed are finally playing in an arena. To be able to book an arena is really difficult for even any type of band. But for a DJ, I think it represents really the beginning of a domino effect where obstacles are starting to be knocked out of the way, where commercial aspects, people are wanting to sponsor these events, people are wanting to be affiliated with these events. So I wanted to specifically come to the Sasha and Digweed event to be able to document, here they are. It's hanging on the fringes of mainstream America, and it's really starting to creep in.
My advice to Sasha, to you Sasha, over the next 2 months is to take as many drugs as possible. Get off your nut. It's the only way. Sometimes the only way forwards is backwards.
The DJ culture has gotten used to living a very sort of jet set lifestyle around the world. And yet Sasha and John's commitment to the music and bringing it to people is one that has not diminished and actually has increased, yet they're ready to, in some ways, go to the next level as individual artists and be a part of introducing a genre of music to parts of America outside the big cities. And in many ways, this tour and everything about Delta Heavy is a risk. America is a place where they like things that they've been introduced to and have had messages sent to them over and over and over and over again.
I should say piss artist.
Of everybody, 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 of everybody wants some love. Of everybody, of everybody, of everybody, everybody needs some love. Of everybody, of everybody, of everybody, of everybody wants some love. Of everybody, of everybody, of everybody, of everybody needs some love. Of everybody, of everybody, of everybody, of everybody wants some love. Of everybody, of everybody, of everybody, of everybody needs some love. Of everybody, of everybody.
My name is Sweetie Sheagull. It's the Winter Music Conference 2002, and the Delta Heavy Tour is just premiering, just started Saturday. Welcome to America, welcome to Miami. How's it going for you guys, and how was the first night?
It's fantastic.
I think that the reason that Sasha and John Digweed are so popular here is because they put on phenomenal quality shows. They always give the audience what they expect, but I think a lot more. They've been coming here steadily for a long time. They've both been, you know, especially John Digweed's been putting out lots of mixed CDs. Sasha has certainly had his amount of CDs here as well. I think what they did at Twilo was very, very important, and it was something that people were talking about all over America. People all over America traveling to New York to see that. And once that ended, I think, you know, we were longing for them to come. But to be able to see Jimmy Van Em, Sasha and John Digweed all together with one great production behind them is going to be a real treat for us here in America.
Until I get on that bus and really kind of get into that mode, I think I'm really going to start to realise what I've let myself in for.
The problem with America is that they don't know how to make a proper cup of tea over here. They really don't. It's a nightmare. I should have gone to the supermarket in England and bought my own tea bags. But everywhere you go, you get these yellow Lipton tea bags, and they're absolutely horrible. So I don't even bother drinking tea when I'm in America. So I'll miss that. I'll miss Marmite on toast, and I'll miss EastEnders on Sunday. I spoke to Nick Warren. He's done it before, and he says that sleeping on the bus is no problem at all. But other people have a very different.
We didn't have you on the bus though, did we?
Exactly. I'll be unplugging that hard drive.
John, where have the styluses gone? They keep disappearing. Round about bedtime. Just stood outside this fucking enormous boat, about to go on our boat party. Everyone's pretty frazzled from last night. Not me, I slept. It's got to be a Thursday in Miami. Just loads of losers here, basically, pulling faces at me.
Yeah, the boat party starts at 5, goes on till 9 o'clock. Basically, go out to sea. Nick Warren's playing, Jimmy Van Em, Sasha, and myself. It's just a bit of a fun time for the next 4 hours.
It's going to be great. I'm going to play my new records to this exclusive little group of people, and I'm really excited about it. All my mates are here, so that's important.
They have this special ability to create an atmosphere which is so totally original. There's only DJs I know who really have pissed me off when I go and see them because I'm hearing stuff I know, but they're playing it in such a way that it just sounds amazing. Because I did a big tour like this with Massive Attack, maybe in 1994, living on a bus, smelling people's socks every morning, and it's tough, it's really tough. You are normally a DJ at the weekends, and this is going to be every single night, and so your body clock is completely thrown, it's completely fucked up.
This is Sean Cusack, DJ extraordinaire from New York, quality producer. Any words you'd like to say?
Things are more like they are now than they've ever been before.
And on that note, I'm turning this off because I want to get drunk.
Everybody's like loosened up now. This is the last time we're going to see Sasha and John for I think 2 months. So it's going to be really interesting. See you later. See you in San Fran.
Amazing. I got to play most of my new album, which I've worked so hard on, and
He's finished it.
Finished it. Certain tracks that I thought I couldn't even play out went down so well, and I'm absolutely buzzing my knackers off.
So we're off for a quiet night in about 8 bars.
A few strip joints.
really nervous about, like, you know, crossing boundaries of personal space, and, you know, we're all gonna be cramped in this bus. And there's not been one episode that I can think of where somebody's, like, you know, barked at the other one and, like, you know, close the door or leave me alone or anything like that. No behavior that, you know, you don't know, because you never know until you set out on something like that.
As soon as we got on the bus, we got Spinal Tap, which put us definitely in the right frame of mind. Well, yeah, the crew's cool. We've got some characters there. Chris, the driver of the other bus, is an absolute nutter. He's just full of stories, and he had a great time in Vegas. I think off $120 or something, he won $27,000 before dinner one night. And they put him up in a high rollers suite for 2 days, hoping that he'd go back to the casino and lose it all, but he stashed it. Mike D, who's the lion guy from Swilo, I think he won 11,000. So they had a great time in Vegas. The guy's really been looking after he's kind of the daddy of the whole crew. He's been looking after us all. Is Kenny, you know, the big guy with the tattoos. He's fantastic. He's just been like taking care of us the whole time. You know, the first night in Miami was just amazing. There's not one production problem, and I think that that's a testament to the amount of work and the professionalism of the guys that we've been on the tour with.
I mean, usually you just end up with a DJ that's just in the middle of the stage, and there's just all this open space, and it all just looks a bit naff, really. And I think the fact that, you know, you've got this whole area that's kind of, you know, screens and the statues and the lights and the sort of TVs, and it gives you a focal point rather than just looking at this big open stage with a trestle table and a couple of decks on it.
So we were talking about, you know, doing this tour and presenting ourselves and in a much more sort of visual way, and you know, it was kind of, we're a bit worried, like, well, how are we going to do this?
It was after a long weekend. We decided to go see a movie. We had no idea what we were going to go see. We just, you know, we had one of those theaters around the corner which just played 40 movies at the same time, and then we just went in. And there was a new Brad Pitt film.
John and I went to see the movie Seven, and we hadn't seen any previews about it or anything like that. I didn't know what it was about and stuff. We just went into the pictures one day in Orlando with Jimmy, actually, and this movie came on, and the opening title sequences, I remember them really blowing me away.
It was so impactful, especially in the frame of mind that we were, you know, just really not knowing what to expect.
Our agent in LA, UTA, I called them up, and they were like, yeah, we know who did that, and within 2 weeks they presented us with about 15 different visual identities for myself and John, ranging from the tribal imagery that we ended up going with, because it seemed to really tie in with the music that we were playing and stuff.
I really like it when the little tribal images start marching towards the screen. It's just so tripped out, and then it's sort of got this fire behind it. It's very intense.
It's very cool, very trippy.
Defender always gets a cheer as well when that comes on.
From that tribal theme, basically, it kind of really relates to, you know, Delta Heavy and the concept and music and everything within sort of what's going on, I believe, now. So it's sort of chapter one within, we'll see how many chapters, you know.
I think also Johnny, the guy that's been working the visuals, I mean, it's one thing having great visuals, but it's having someone that understands how to make them flow within the music to make them have the best impact.
I guess my official title here is VJ, or sometimes video designer. Essentially, I do exactly what John and Sasha do with sound, except I do it with visuals. You know, I guess here I'm a little bit more in the back seat to the DJs, and I'm used to kind of being the star.
That's what I said.
Tell him he's not doing the next tour.
What I like about it is that it really has a very visceral, dark, film-like quality. It's very cinematic. What we've tried to do is provide some kind of narrative experience, something that really builds on well, it's just more than eye candy. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, he's mixing the visuals the same way we're mixing music. He has all these DVDs, and he's actually mixing little elements in off each DVD. So it's kind of like he's piecing it together as the night builds up. And there's just different intensities of visuals. Some stuff for the real peak of the night that's quite full on, and stuff for early on in the night that's quite spaced out and abstract. And he basically follows the intensity of the music, which is really cool. No, I think it's all positive. It's all really positive, and to see it going off in places like Rochester and Albuquerque and Albany is a really positive sign. They've been the gigs that have surprised me the most. I thought we'd be playing to some really flat crowds that wouldn't understand the music and stuff, and it'd be really hard. But a lot of those smaller places, it's really gone off. So that's been exciting. Minneapolis was fantastic, yeah. It was Prince's old club.
Atlanta, last Tuesday.
That was mental.
Unbelievable. Tuesday night, 2,500 people. The place just going nuts, no one would leave. Atlanta on Tuesday was great. Minneapolis was great. There were definitely a couple that really stood out in the fact that at the end of the night, no one would leave. The Minneapolis gig, they had to actually re-plug the sound system in and play one more. Just gigs like that where it's just, you've got a Tuesday night or a Sunday night and just the most unbelievable crowd reaction ever.
big cities, you can get good food, but a lot of the time it's 2 o'clock in the morning. You kind of have to make do with what you can grab. We've had a couple of nights where we've had problems with the sound, and we've both been tired. There was a production problem in Seattle where the decks just kept feeding back, and I lost my rag a little bit with the sound guys and had to apologise the next day.
Well, 747's at 1:30, so I mean we could hurt somebody in a room this small with that PA. Right. But we'll get it back as soon as you go up there. I mean, Hobie and I will open it up. Now we did the complete opposite to the monitors. You said that you thought that you were cranking too much on the monitor.
No, I was talking about the games on the channels, man.
Okay. Yeah, but didn't you say that you thought the monitor went up to like 3 o'clock and you didn't like that? You want to keep that? So we opened the monitors wide open. Okay. I mean, it's wide open. So you get up there around 10 o'clock on that, and you're going to be feeling it. Right. So, all right, then we'll open the games on all the channels too. Okay. Cool.
Each day there's a new set of obstacles. Sometimes a lot of the times it's venue related. We get to the venue and we have spatial constraints, and you can't bring in all the equipment that we have, so you have to pick and choose what can go where. I don't recall the name of the city, but it's a suburb of Chicago, and apparently the mayor has been in power or in office for like 53 years. His son is the chief of police, and his other son is the chief of the fire, and that's the town that they were very, very poignant about. If we were 1 minute over, they were going to impose a $10,000 or $15,000 fine. So for obvious reasons, we were watching our clocks very closely that evening.
They didn't create the Krakows law for no reason. I mean, it's definitely there because, they frown upon it pretty hard. The fact that it does end at 2 o'clock for most of the shows, I think it became really helpful because not only did the police look more favorably upon it because of that, I think it also, in terms of broadening the audience, it was very helpful that way. It all kind of works hand in hand. It becomes a little bit more responsible at that point.
See you in Dallas.
The strength of this whole project really comes from, your original question you asked me, why them? Why'd you pick Sasha and John? I mean, aside from the fact that these guys are immensely talented, I think it's sort of our teamwork working together that really works.
Jimmy's done just the most amazing thing pulling this thing together. I mean, his whole concept of taking this thing on the road, making it happen. I mean, all the stuff behind the scenes, and the fact that when he DJs as well, he does the most amazing warm-up sets.
Quite different than what I do when I go out and play on my own. I play definitely a little bit more up-tempo, but this is sort of the part of the night where you really have to build it up and kind of create a lot of tension and really kind of hold it back in order for these guys to go on.
Sparrow, I met Sparrow the first night that I ever DJ'd at the Hacienda in 1989. It was in an orange jumpsuit, NASA jumpsuit. Absolute mad raver. And yeah, we ended up moving into a house together in Manchester, which was just absolute party house. And there he's just been one of my best mates for the last sort of 12, 13 years.
I mean, obviously, throughout the years, I had loads of money off Sasha. I'm buzzing off him, and I've had a life of luxury, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah, he's just an absolute nutbag. Keeps everyone always entertained.
I'd like to see it at various stages. I'd like to see it, do it at quarters if I could, if possible. I'd like to be there for as many as possible, but physically I'm not going to be able to because I'll probably lose the plot.
I was up for him coming on the bus, but John was like, no fucking way.
Sasha Digweed rule. I had to come and see you guys. It's just, you're just this way above everybody else. I don't get it. I don't understand it, but it's just phenomenal.
You had a fucking room over at Cathedral City. We were like, yeah.
The night was incredible. The music was incredible. The words really don't explain the energy and just the feeling of everybody together, the floor moving, and people just feeling the music. So it's something else.
Because we're dealing with this huge company, Clear Channel, to do this tour. They were basically people that guaranteed the whole tour, put the money up for it and stuff. We had to sign this very scary document, which basically said if I missed a gig because I went missing in action or something like that, for any other reason apart from a legitimate medical reason or an act of God or whatever, that basically I'm liable for 150 grand a show. So that was definitely an incentive not to go to too many after parties. I think they've probably had their fair share of rock stars bailing out on gigs, and I'm sure it's pretty standard right now. But my reputation might well have preceded me.
One of us is quite used to missing gigs. Not me.
Normally we're very late getting on the bus, and with respect to our planned departure times, and it just has to not matter.
So if all you've got to do is focus on getting there on time, how come you can't get there on time?
I'm not late for the gigs, man. I'm never late for the gigs. Have I? Have I been late for any of the gigs? I don't think I have.
Borderline.
Cheeky swat.
John's almost always more punctual or closer to departure time than Sasha is. Sasha's, I think the earliest he's been is 50 minutes late.
Yeah, you learn to manage it, start playing little tricks with him and telling him to be there 15 minutes early, so until he's on to it, and counteracts it with a 30-minute late arrival.
They just started confusing me by everyone to tell me a different time when the bus was leaving, so I basically just sit in bed until someone actually come and got me.
It's a little confusing. I heard at one point that it was going to be a 10 a.m. departure, so I came down and started all the engines and began to get things going, and it's now 7 minutes after noon, and we've not seen John or Sasha or Tim, as a matter of fact, yet. So what time we'll actually get away is still an unknown quantity.
I think the fact that John and I are here together, it definitely helps. We pull each other through it. It's not, if the whole tour was on one of our shoulders, I think we'd probably have to behave 10 times more carefully than we probably have done on this tour. I've had quite a lot of fun.
It's definitely a good way to do it rather than the airports. It's so much better. You finish the gig, get on here, you travel, you wake up at the next city, check into the hotel. None of that dealing with security at the airports. Makes things a lot less stressful.
And that first sort of couple of weeks, you know, that the bottles of vodka would disappear very quickly, but then as the tour went on, you'd find at the end of the night there'd still be like most of the alcohol left over.
The bus came out to be a little bit of a surprise for me, actually. I mean, I thought it was going to be a lot more like just really crazy stuff, and it's not like that at all. I mean, you just end up hanging out watching DVDs, and it's pretty quiet, actually. I mean, you get after you get home from the gig, you jump in, you know, you're coughing really, and you just you crash out.
Nightmare. It's tough, man. Spending a couple days cooped up on the bus that's really rough. It's pretty hard, you know. It's kind of hard on your psyche a little bit because you're feeling, you know, trapped and contained, and it's a little bit tough. So to kind of get on the video games or you know, get into a book or something and try to make that time go by, but it's tough.
Yeah, I think we got stiffed on the bus, man. The cruise bus is really cool.
Yeah, smooth as a baby's bottom. It's like riding horseback.
Here come the rookies. We'll stick them on the wonky bus.
I'm one of the audio engineers for Sasha and John, and we are actually going out for dinner. This situation right here, just with them taking us out and showing us a good time, this is a rare thing.
It's definitely been a learning experience. Got a new extended family. I'm definitely happy with it. I think everyone's happy with what I've been doing, so it's all around, 2 thumbs up. Ready to do it again.
Where are you from, Dan? Canada.
What are you doing on the tour?
I barely sleep. And I get in the way of the pack every night.
They'll kick doors open here for us, and it's just a small town in Texas, and I mean, you can tell from the crowds that are here that this is what people love. This was the live music capital of the world. Now it's moved. It's honestly moved. These kids are technology-based kids. They want to hear something new and progressive. They want to hear something electronic.
I love Sasha and John. That's the only reason I'm here. They're amazing. Oh my God, I love them.
Have you seen them before? Anyway?
No, I've never seen them. But if I get to meet them tonight, though.
I tell you, it's one of the most exhilarating things. It was just like, you know, just the fact that you're just floating, it was just the weirdest sensation ever. And that's why I went back out again. I was like, this is great. And Kenny was like, get back, get back. He was like actually quite worried about me being out there because he said I could have just gone right to the back of the club.
For some reason, my head turns to the left, and all of a sudden, I see John Digweed floating by on a bunch of people. It looked like something out of South Park, like the little puppet head going by. So I rushed around the front of the stage, and thank God the people gave him back, and grabbed him, and I told him, "Get over here, are you insane?" And then he tells me he likes it.
Well, it's not like an event. I don't call it really like an event because no one knows when it changes, you know? It's just like an ongoing thing, you know, people get up and clap, you know, the beat goes down, the beat goes up.
The music was excellent. I've waited for 6 years to see these two men together, and now I can die happy.
I accidentally tuned in to the radio station, 93.3, and it was on a Sunday night, and it was the 2 hours when they had a special DJ and mixing some music, and it was so good. And I was just like, yes, they're playing our kind of music. They're playing our kind of music on the radio. I can't believe it.
Eventually, we were going to have to see Sasha and Digweed live anyway, but when it turned up in Austin, 4.5 hours away, popped down. Hey, we're going to make it tonight, and it's tremendous.
Holy shit.
Twice. Oh my
Twice.
God, look at that.
Look at that. Is that a wreck?
It's a fucking mobile disco at the end of the road.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm absolutely fucked right now, you know, and I'm really looking forward to 2 weeks off at home.
Dallas, Texas, at the Bronco Bowl.
Bronco Bowl.
Bronco Bowl.
Bronco Bowl.
Pre-sales are like at 25 and selling today, so probably another 5 or 6 today, another 4 or 5 at the door tonight, 3,600. We're taking a bet. I was telling him yesterday, if you look at 3 shows within a 4-hour driving period, I mean, that's playing for 8,500 people within 4 hours. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. You know, normally it's Houston or Dallas. You don't get all 3.
Playing in America is just, you know, it's definitely one of the best places in the world at the moment, just because the enthusiasm that comes through is, you know, it's just how England used to be. I hate using that word, how it used to be, but, you know, there's just that genuine, you know, you just by walking down the queue, you know, the place just goes nuts. there's only been a couple of yellow cards throughout the whole 8 weeks, which is, you know, really good. Usually we're like awarding ourselves if one of us fucks up, but you know, it's been one of those just like, actually no one's actually made a mistake yet. What's going on?
Yeah, Sasha and Digweed rock, man. At least they rave, right? So rave on, dude.
The last night of the tour, 8 weeks on the road from Miami all over the States, not many days off. I can't believe we're still alive actually. We're all absolutely exhausted, but it's been absolutely amazing, and you know, what a great place to end the tour in New Orleans at the House of Blues.
I think we definitely achieved, you know, really heightening the experience going into club. You know, I think it was tremendously successful that way. I think, you know, the person who's going to the club who used to spend $40, they go in and spend $40. They got all these visuals, it all relates, it's the beginning of a story, it's something compelling, it's something interesting, you know, and it will develop.
There's something here in America with the scene, the way that it is, and with kind of what John, the crowd following that John and I have built up over here over the last sort of 10 years, you know, I think it's still in its infancy.